Hi, Kiana Miner here, creator of the Crazy Courage Blueprint and author of Daily Dose of Crazy Courage. And I'm here today to talk to you about that ugly, ugly word, procrastination. So our word procrastination actually comes from Latin, and it technically means to defer until tomorrow. But as we like to say in English, I'll do it later. Everyone in the world, even the most successful people, have dealt with that habit of procrastination at some point in their life. In fact, a study says that 26% of people consider themselves chronic procrastinators. With our cell phones, with Facebook, social media, all the things that can distract us, we spend 2.1 hours a day being distracted. That accounts to more than 14 hours a week. What dreams could you accomplish? What great things could you do with an extra 14 hours a week? Well, let's dive in because I want to show you how to reclaim those 14 hours and stop procrastinating. In this video, I'll show you how to kick that habit, how to complete your projects with less stress, and how to have more time to do the things you really love. In order to do great things, we must believe, think, and act in great ways. And procrastination isn't a habit of greatness. Pierre Steele, the author of the Procrastination Equation, says that procrastination is actually getting worse in our culture. He says that it's making us fatter, poorer, and unhappier. So I want to share with you 3 strategies to help you stop procrastinating right now. The first thing you need to do is call a thing a thing. Call out your procrastination. Don't call it something else. The longer you deny that you're procrastinating, the worse procrastination gets. We all have patterns of procrastination. What's yours? So years ago, before I kicked the procrastination habit, my habit of procrastination was tiredness. The first thing I would do is I would feel really, really tired, like, oh, I know I have to do this project, but I'm exhausted. I really have to go to sleep. The second thing I would do is doubt my ability to get it done. I would start doubting, well, am I good enough? Do I need more training? Maybe I need to read more books. Maybe I need to do more, become more before I can do this thing that I really, really need to do. Third thing I would feel is completely terrified. I can't do this thing because if I do this thing, oh my God, I'm going to ruin my life. I'm going to do it so bad. No one's going to like me. No one's going to like my work. And I'm going to be a complete and utter failure. So know the early signs that you're procrastinating because early prevention can make all the difference when it comes to getting your stuff done. The second thing you want to do is ask yourself, is this thing that you're supposed to be doing, is the thing that you're procrastinating about leading you to your grander vision in life? This is important because there are 2 types of hesitations. The first type of hesitation is called a pause, and this is a discerning hesitation that helps you clarify, is this really the next step that you should be taking? The second type of hesitation is procrastination. It's fear, it's I'm afraid to move forward. And here's how you tell which one your hesitation is. A pause sounds like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this really the right next step for me? That's what a pause sounds like in your mind. I love the quote from Gretchen Rubin that says, working is the most dangerous form of procrastination. So just because you're doing things or you're working doesn't mean you're working toward your highest vision in life. So be very clear about that. Fear sounds like, oh my God, if I do this thing, I might fail. I might mess up. Can I do this thing well? And are people gonna like me after I do this thing? That's fear. Years ago, I had 2 clients. Both of them were considering going back to school, and both of them were hesitating on doing the things they needed to do to apply for school. The first one wanted to be a lawyer, and she was procrastinating on filling out her applications and really moving forward with the process. As we worked together, we discovered that her hesitation was really a pause because she didn't really know if she wanted to be a lawyer. So for the first time in her life, she really started to figure out, what is it that I want to do? What's going to make me happy? And she ended up becoming a yoga instructor, which was absolutely amazing. The second one wanted to go to medical school, and she was really procrastinating on moving forward with the process. And so after we worked together, she discovered, you know what, I'm afraid that I'm just not good enough. I'm afraid that my application is just not going to be good enough to get into my #1 school. So in her case, she realized that her hesitation was indeed procrastination. And doing the tips that I'm about to share with you right now, she was able to move past that. Not only did she finish her application, she got into her #1 medical school. She completed school, finished her residency, and she is now a very happy practicing doctor. So if you identify that your pause is really, that your hesitation is really a pause, then you may need to reconsider whether this next step is the right next step for you. If you discover that it's procrastination, then you need to move forward, and here's how you do it. Number 3 is you want to decide what is the next step. That is the most important question you can ask yourself when you're procrastinating. What is the next step you need to take to move towards your goals? So sometimes we become overwhelmed by our vision, and if you want to write a book, you may be thinking, well, how do I become a best-selling author? That is not the question you want to ask, because that's just going to fuel your procrastination and intimidate you. What you want to ask is, what is my next step to becoming a best-selling author? What is the next step I need to take? Maybe it's coming up with a topic for your book. Maybe it's outlining your book or writing one chapter. Something simple. What is the next step that you need to take? A recent study out of Germany suggests that if we can make our problems concrete, then it's easier for us to come up with solutions to solve them. So by asking what is your next step, you make your goals very concrete. What is the next step I need to take? And then you want to take that step. To help you overcome any lingering fear to taking that next step, I want you to do a visualization exercise with me. So for a moment, choose something that you've been procrastinating about. Now that you have that thing, imagine the worst case scenario. What is the worst thing that could happen if you do the best that you can on the thing that you're procrastinating about? What is the worst thing that can happen? You give it your best, what's the worst thing that can happen? Maybe you'll fail. Maybe you'll fall down. Maybe you'll make a mistake. Maybe people will judge you or criticize you. What is it? What is the worst thing that can happen? Once you have a very clear idea of what the worst case scenario is, if you do the best that you can, I want you to imagine yourself moving through it. Imagine yourself confidently. Your head is high, your shoulders are back, your chest is out, your heart is leading the way. Imagine yourself boldly moving through the obstacles that could prevent things from turning out the way you expect them to, the way that you want them to. Imagine yourself taking the steps you need to take. Imagine yourself standing in front of that crowd or completing that project. And then in your mind, I want you to celebrate. You did it. You overcame it. You moved forward. What is going to happen as a result of you moving through this fear? Of you ending your habit of procrastination and getting it done? Celebrate. Celebrate the achievement of what you're going for. Celebrate the realization of your dreams. Celebrate your strength and your courage to move forward even though you were afraid. Now I want you to open your eyes, take a deep breath in, exhale, and say, I do it now. Deep breath in. Hold your breath. Exhale. I do it now. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Exhale. I do it now. Now you can take that affirmation, write it down, and put it somewhere highly visible. Put it in the place that you go to when you procrastinate. Tape it to your television, tape it to your bed, tape it to your car, and every time you see that affirmation, you'll think about this video, you'll think about the tips that I've shared with you, and you'll move forward even though you're afraid. The Journal of Clinical and Experimental Neuropsychology suggests that procrastination is really a failure to self-regulate. So what you want to do is make sure that you use this affirmation, I do it now. so that you can start practicing self-regulation. Practice managing yourself. Practice getting yourself to do the things that you need to do. So one more bonus tip is that when you find yourself procrastinating, go ahead and get something done. What is something small that you can conquer in a short amount of time, preferably 15 to 20 minutes? Maybe you can organize your drawer. Maybe you can clean out your purse. Do something that you can absolutely conquer. Run a mile or two. What is it that you can absolutely conquer? Do that thing to build momentum, and then commit yourself to using that same process, that same energy, and that momentum that you've built up to conquer the thing that you've been procrastinating about. And if all else fails, employ external accountability. And the way that you do this is, if you have an audience, if you have an email list, if you have someone that is going to hold you accountable, announce the thing that you're working on to them, and then you'll feel the pressure to get it done, to get that project done. I want to share this quote with you from Steven Pressfield, and it says, "Turning pro is a mindset. If we are struggling with fear and self-sabotage, procrastination, self-doubt, etc., the problem is we're thinking like amateurs. Amateurs don't show up. Amateurs crap out. Amateurs let adversity defeat them. The pro thinks differently. He shows up, he does his work, he keeps on trucking no matter what." So I encourage you to become a pro when it comes to living your dream life. Become a pro at your productivity and getting yourself in your genius zone and producing the best work that you've ever seen. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Crazy Courage TV. If you enjoyed this video, like and share it with your tribe. The party doesn't have to end here. Come on over to crazycourage.com where you can answer our question of the week, which is, what are some of your tips for ending procrastination? Let's have a discussion below. You know, I believe you're brilliant and you have something special to share with the world. And I can't wait to see what it is. Live your dream, because all things are possible. This is Kiana Minor, wishing you much love, much joy, and crazy, crazy courage. I'll see you next week. Bye. Go to crazycourage.com to see all the previous episodes. If you enjoyed this video, like and share it with your friends. Also, if you are gaining motivation and encouragement from these episodes, please share your story with me. I would love to hear from you. Good morning. Good. We must believe, and as we work together,